Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Hundreds gathering tonight to hear from Detroit Police Chief James Craig and talk about his plan to crack down on violent crime. Glad you're with us here at 11. Tonight's town hall meeting comes amid a wave of gun violence, a lot of it involving children.
Already this year, 16 children have been killed in shootings across the city. Pamela Osborne is live tonight with how tonight's meeting was received. Pamela.
Karen, Devin, there were easily 200 people who turned out to tonight's meeting, people of all ages looking for solutions to the problem of violence that so many are experiencing here in the city.
What we came here tonight to do is to strategize, come up with some resolve. What can we do?
Creating a safer city for all was the topic discussion at a special meeting Thursday night where community members came together with city leaders and law enforcement officials to talk solutions.
I don't care how many officers you hire, it's going to always be more civilians than you have officers. So what are we going to do as a community to stop what's going on?
Outside, a grim reminder of what drove people to pack this room in the first place. Tombstones marking the lives lost to violence in the city.
I will never become desensitized to a child losing their lives in our city when I know there's so much more we can do.
Chief James White brought the panel of mental health professionals, faith and elected leaders, as well as community ambassadors together and to the people. Among the topics discussed, ShotSpotter and how that technology could make a difference and perhaps would have for a little girl killed by a bullet that was fired by a group of teens playing with a gun.
Had there been ShotSpotter, we would have responded to the first time they shot in the air, but there wasn't, and we didn't.
Cornelius Well and other street leaders brought several young people to participate in the discussion. He left feeling like there was more he wanted to hear.
Let's gauge our community where it says that the poverty is driving us to these crimes. Yeah. Let's deal with that.
And we spoke to City Council President Mary Chatfield. She was there to listen and learn too, particularly about the ShotSpotter. Council will be deciding on whether or not to fund that program, the expansion of that program throughout the city. But she also said that it's important to support these community intervention level organizations that are out there doing that work as well. And she also talked about getting DPD up to staff. They have about 400 vacancies right now, so they can respond to ShotSpotter and other tools that are available to them. So a lot to consider here. Reporting live tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
So much to consider, but I'm sure everyone agrees something needs to change. Thanks, Pamela.
I said Chief Craig off the top there. I, of course, meant Chief White. My apologies. I fell into a time warp. An anti-abortion counseling center has been hit twice in the last 3 months. The vandalism includes spray paint and busted windows with the same message left behind in both cases. Let's bring in Mara McDonald. She's live in Southfield tonight. This mimics, Mara, the vandalism that we've seen at other anti-abortion centers that has been reported in other states, right?
Devin, it sure does, which is why the Southfield PD tells me not only is it conducting its own investigation into what happened here, they're turning everything over to the FBI as well. This was June 29th. The graffiti showed up on the back door along with more than a dozen smashed windows.
It was one woman. She smashed 14 windows and she left some graffiti that was similar to what this one was.
The graffiti reads, "Jane was here," followed by, "If abortions aren't safe, neither are you." That language mimics what was first found in a Madison, Wisconsin anti-abortion center where vandals started a fire that was quickly put out. No suspects were ever arrested. Well, fast forward to last Friday here in Southfield. This same center was targeted again. This time, the back door window was busted, along with more of the same graffiti. Police tell us there is surveillance video, but it's unhelpful. It's impossible to tell anything about the vandals, although 2 are caught on video. Is it the same woman who vandalized the center in June? Impossible to tell, and there have been no arrests. McGrath tells me the vandalism and the message is taking a toll on the staff.
They're nervous about it, you know, but we're praying and we're hoping that it doesn't occur again. And we are going to talk some more about what security we might, enhance it with.
Back here live, this message, this spray painted message, hasn't just been popping up both in Michigan and Wisconsin, but it's been showing up on the walls, doors, you name it, of centers that counsel against terminating pregnancies around the country. We're live in Southfield tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. It is now officially fall. I mean, it's brand new.
It is.
But it does feel like it. Yes, but it does feel like it, doesn't it?
Yes, and I understand, Kim, most of us is going to be dropping down into the 40s. Is that right?
The 40s and possibly even the upper 30s tonight. Yes, fall arrived at 9:04, and those temperatures are dropping tonight, already down to 43 in Port Huron, 50 in Mount Clemens, mid-50s at City Airport, and 51 already at City Airport. Temperatures have been dropping over the last several hours, I mean, like a rock, and we are now almost 20 degrees colder tonight at this exact same time than we were yesterday. And yesterday's highs were in the upper 80s, and then this afternoon we only made it to the low 60s. When the kids go to the bus stop tomorrow morning, they're going to definitely want a jacket. 43 degrees, and then in the afternoon, the sunshine warms us up to 64 degrees. And then it'll be kind of a nice weekend. We got a little chance of rain, though. I know. I don't want to hype it up too much, but it's going to be okay. We do stay below normal, though, for the next several days. So I'm going to have that forecast for you if you want to see it coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kim. Tonight, police in Gibraltar are investigating an attempted child abduction.
The incident happened last night about 9:30 near Gibraltar Community Park. A woman told police she was pushing her child in a stroller when a black SUV pulled over. She says two men in their 30s wearing all black then got out of the SUV and tried to grab that stroller. When they weren't successful, the two men then drove away. If you have any information, call Gibraltar Police. Tonight, 4 suspects are in jail after fleeing the scene of a home invasion with a 2-year-old in their vehicle. These 4 were seen on camera by the homeowners who were out of town and then contacted police. When police arrived, 2 suspects were seen running from that house. Police say they got into a van and fled. Officers attempted a traffic stop but were unsuccessful. The vehicle was later found with all suspects inside and a 2-year-old. Police also found 3 guns inside. Police believe they could be responsible for other crimes.
We move to the Oxford school shooting investigation with an attorney representing the victims' families, laying out what he calls more red flags that were leading up to the November 30th shooting. The new evidence includes a picture drawn by the defendant in August of 2021 for a class assignment that the teacher did not report at the time.
Some people would say that's a building, but Ms. Kabinski, when I asked her her deposition, admitted it might be a building or it might be a magazine full of bullets, like the bullet at the top.
To me, this is beyond neglect. It's unforgivable. We have 4 angels that they're gone. You know, I can't find an excuse for dropping the ball again and again and again.
We also learned the teacher who saw Ethan Crumbley searching for bullets on his phone testified that she alerted counselors and the dean of students about some of his disturbing behavior. That was on November 29th, which of course was just the day before the shooting. The Oxford school superintendent released a statement that reads in part, "I remain confident that the multiple investigations, lawsuits, and the school board's third-party review will bring all the facts to light and create the full transparency and accounting of events our community wants and deserves."
New tonight, surveillance video shows the tense moments inside a local pharmacy during a robbery.
You're on the floor now, on the floor now. Okay, no, hey, don't move.
A video showing masked men forcing employees to the ground yesterday at Nasser Pharmacy on Oakman Boulevard in Dearborn. The thieves go around the pharmacy filling bags and bins with items from around the store. There's no word on any injuries.
The investigation into sexual assault allegations against former House Speaker Lee Chatfield now in the hands of the Attorney General, Dana Nessel. State police announcing today they've completed their investigation, turned over their findings to the AG's office. The investigation began after Chatfield's sister-in-law accused him of sexually assaulting her starting when she was just 15 years old. Chatfield admits he had an affair with her but says it happened when she was an adult. So far, the AG's office has not commented, though, on the MSP report. More affordable housing coming to Detroit's Midtown area.
Yeah, Mayor Mike Duggan and other city leaders cut the ribbon on the free lawn on Sugar Hill today. It's a mixed income development over on John R. and Garfield. It sets aside affordable apartments for veterans who have experienced homelessness. The apartments are fully furnished and vets won't pay more than 30% of their adjusted income. The building is also right across from the VA hospital. Looks gorgeous.
Yeah.